On today's show, a Christmas tale larger than life. The story of Santa's real-life hometown. A Finnish city with a clear-cut outdoor tie to Minnesotans. Hey, especially if you like to fish.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hey everybody, welcome to our Christmas show. You know, most folks around these parts know the Rapala name. And if you fish, you know Rapala knives. They're a classic. Now, not long ago, our friends at Rapala asked us to fly to Finland to document the story and the tradition behind these knives. Thing is, when we stepped off the airplane, we quickly realized to understand this knife, you need to understand the Christmas story in the Arctic where they're made.
A simple flicker of light. Candles burn eternal come cold Finnish winters. Such is Arctic life in the town of Rovaniemi. The December solstice keeps days mostly dark. Even so, tourists still crave this cold environment. An outdoor oasis made famous by the big guy in red. More on that in a bit. But first, a 90-minute window of daylight gives us just enough time to grab a few shots of our first destination. The reason we've come to Rovaniemi, a Finnish factory with clear-cut ties to Minnesota.
No doubt we are the biggest knife manufacturer for fillet knives in the world. "50
artisans perpetually build our MARTTIINI knives' century-old tradition, the art of the perfect edge. MARTTIINI makes outdoor knives, blades used by Finland's reindeer herders.
They are so sharp, and this sharpness comes from the knowledge from generations to generations.
All started in 1923 by Jari MARTTIINI, a humble Finnish blacksmith who peddled knives from his bike. In 1964, a single drawing would change MARTTIINI's legacy.
In '65, actually, we got the first fillet knives made, and that was the huge success for this company.
A new fishing knife with a thin, bendable blade, a concept completely foreign to Finland's anglers.
They were saying, what is that? What is not the knife with the flexible blade? It's not the knife.
Little did they know. The design, the idea of a bunch of Minnesota fishing innovators, led by Normark Rapala president Ron Weber. They put pencil to paper and sketched what they thought might be the perfect Minnesota knife, to be made by MARTTIINI.
The lab knife blade, sharpened it very thin, made it very sharpened and flexible, and sent a sample to U.S. That was the start.
Great shoes come from Italy, great cars come from Germany. Finland makes great things from wood, like wooden fishing lures and wooden fillet knives.
MARTTIINI's blades arrive in raw form from Germany and France, countries known for hardened stainless steel.
That reads only blanks. I don't know why I'm so intrigued by this barrel, but it kind of tells the story. Full of rejects. Unless these things are exactly right, they go in there to be recycled and reused.
Blades that pass QC go into the buffer. In just 120 seconds, the blanks become shiny, polished blades. Across the street, Jari Halme shows off the wood shack.
Wow. This is our wood stock. We use each year over 120 cubic meters.
the birch sits and cures 1 year. Only then does it go indoors where woodworkers cut handles. Now Marttini's monster machine shapes each Rapala knife handle. They look about complete. Well, almost. A worker feeds handles into a laser. And a few seconds later, they pop back out.
And like that, voila. Or as they say around here, Rapala.
Up next, workers hammer out the details. And we take a break from the factory to visit Rovaniemi's other big draw. This story is definitely right out of the Christmas books.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers, Rapala Ice Force, Star Bank, and by Connecticut.
Not long ago, we had a chance to fly to Finland to document the story behind Rapala fillet knives. Little did we know, these knives have a direct tie to Santa Claus. No joke.
Rapala fillet knives, a Minnesota fishing tradition made by MARTTIINI, a Finnish company based on the Arctic Circle. With the Rapala handles set and the blades now polished, Tero Tulianen takes over. He picks MARTTIINI parts and creates one Rapala knife. Just watch. First, Tero taps the handle onto the blade. Then he adds a rivet. Next, he grinds off the excess steel and locks the rivet into place. For good.
He makes that look so easy.
Now comes MARTTIINI's last dance. The robot dance, as computer-run droids sharpen blades. These bots are precise. They sharpen each flexible blade exactly the same. Only now are Rapala knives ready to go into stores.
So this is an ad from 1984, more guts than any knife in the world. I think if we were to do this ad today, it would say 54 years ago, and it would be over 30 million knives.
What I feel here, the people who are working for us, is that they want to be proud what they do. And they very much value, that this product is so international.
And so is this city, Rovaniemi. We came to document Rapala knives, but to see this town, see this place, is to truly understand MARTTIINI's story. See, Rovaniemi is a winter destination of grand proportions. Just look around. People from all over Europe and Asia visit, especially around the holidays. They come to wander around a bunch of colorful buildings out on the edge of town.
This is on the Arctic Circle, and that's why it became so famous.
But it's more than that. You see, this compound belongs to an uber famous guy.
Oh, this is Santa Claus Village. Actually, this is a very old place.
Yep, bet you didn't know Rovaniemi is Santa's hometown. For real. His Finland estate, a larger-than-life spectacle. The stuff kids and adults dream of. With a catch. See, Santa allows no visitor to bring a camera inside his house. But it turns out the big guy has a soft spot for Minnesota Bound. Visitors can wish him well and experience all the mystique behind Arctic life. An experience
Ei ole kaikki kohdat.
that culminates fireside in the shelter of a Finnish shaman.
I sense
that there is hurry and busyness on you.
The Arctic's indigenous people believed in spirits tied to the natural world.
We have to make connection to those spirits.
The shaman would ward off the bad luck. Who knows? This might all be a tourist trap, but to me, it's something more. A small but moving moment immersed in Nordic tradition.
And now, my friends, those bad things has burned up into the sky.
Oh, and tonight we get to ride with Prancer.
You will always keep your fingers and legs inside the sled.
Matti Hiskari offers up one more local ritual. Photographer Aaron and I slide off into Arctic darkness. If Santa's sleigh ever squeaked like this, kids could never sleep through his Christmas visits.
Smells good.
Up next, we take a little break from Finland. Laura Shera is ready to get wild in the kitchen.
Very good.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Border View Lodge.
Merry Christmas from Wild in the Kitchen. I'm here with Chef Kevin Kavalson from Firelight Grill House and Cocktail Bar, and today we are doing a traditional Christmas goose recipe. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, traditionally, the goose has gotten a bad rap for being difficult to cook and not so good to eat, but you have a really simple recipe today.
Yeah, super simple. We're gonna use a little bit of Chinese 5-spice, some citrus, salt and pepper, and some fresh herbs.
So, what are the first steps to getting started here?
We're just gonna trim some of this fat. Truss the legs together, just real loose.
Now, what is the purpose of actually tying the legs together? Why do we need to do that?
Just so it cooks evenly. Have you zest the citrus?
Zesting citrus. Are we zesting the entire orange?
Yep, as much as you can.
Smells so good, orange zest. So next up is,
Chinese 5-spice.
now what is in that?
This is cinnamon, star anise, a little ginger root dried, Szechuan pepper, and nutmeg.
And a little salt and pepper?
We're gonna cut one of the oranges in half, give it a little bit of moisture.
Mix this together?
Yep.
All right, I think this is mixed together well. Do we rub this on the bird?
Yep, since you got it all over your hands, I'll let
All
you
right.
rub the bird. Let those spices just kind of rub into the fat and skin. Next, we're just gonna drizzle, this is 3 tablespoons of honey, and just kind of evenly drizzle it right over the bird. And then drizzle with a fresh thyme. Now we're gonna stuff the bird with all that lovely citrus that we just zested. So we're
Okay,
gonna cut
and I know
each
some
one in
fresh
half.
herbs here too.
Yep, all that, we're just gonna cram it right in the body cavity.
This is so easy. Now our goose is stuffed.
We're ready to roast. Let's throw it on our rack here.
Oh, he's gotten a lot heavier, I'll tell you that.
And we're just gonna go in the oven for at 450 degrees for 20 minutes. Now it's time to baste. You wanna do it every 20 to 30 minutes.
Now it's going back in the oven at what temperature?
300 we're gonna drop it down to. About 45 minutes. Okay, Laura, the bird should be done.
All right, let's see what it looks like.
Voila.
Wow, picture perfect, if I do say so myself.
We're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes. Now this is a really essential part because you want the meat to kind of relax. We throw some tin foil on there and just let it rest. It'll only go down to about 160. Rest it for 30 minutes.
Smells good, smells good.
Now we're gonna cut some of this bird
Wow.
and separate.
You can see all the juice in it, so
Yep.
it's definitely kept its moisture.
And I can tell as my knife moves it through this, I can see that it's relaxed quite a bit.
That looks amazing. So there you have it. Enjoy the taste of the wild this holiday season, and Merry Christmas from our kitchen to yours. All right, I'm gonna try a bite. Very good. That's awesome.
Coming up, an unexpected Finnish friend takes us off the grid to explore Finland's most remote winter destination.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Ellsworth Cooperative Creamery, Radco Truck Accessories, Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Life is so full of surprises. Believe me, I had no idea I would someday travel to Finland, to Santa's hometown, to document the story behind Rapala fillet knives. While there, we discovered where there is snow, people will play.
So, Rapala's knife-making process got us to Finland. But it's definitely December life that makes me want to stay.
There are so many places in this world nowadays which has never snow or very little snow in wintertime. But here you can have snow a lot. You can do snow activities, but also it's the silence.
The silence of pure Arctic wilderness. Just listen. Solitude broken only by the sound of machines. The work of my new friend Ari.
A-R-I.
And his last name?
It's quite difficult. Pikkuhookana.
Ari plays in Finland's prettiest places. He's got a pretty special gig.
I know, I really know.
Ari guides snowmobile rides not far from Finland's border with Russia.
Every day. I do it every day.
I'm not gonna lie, this part of the world looks and feels a lot like northern Minnesota.
I can show people this quiet place and snowmobiling, everything.
Maybe that's why Ari's been guiding 30 years. Or maybe it's the idea that northern Finland's trails never seem to end.
Yes, basically if you start from here, you can go to the Norway, Arctic Ocean, Sweden.
But we keep today's ride short. Ari's got a surprise.
We have pikes, whitefish, perches, and trout.
I noticed this blade is small. Will my fish fit?
The Finns like to ice fish, just like us.
Hyvähän tää ei ole, mutta...
Ari gets us all set up, along with Petri and Jari from MARTTIINI. Finnish ice gear looks a little different.
This will be interesting.
But I quickly realize some laws of fishing have zero boundaries, even halfway around the world.
So quiet here.
You know how it is. Sometimes it takes 2 seconds, sometimes 2 weeks. You never know.
Jari is focused.
Like that,
Uh-oh, you are in trouble.
Finnish fishing turns to Finnish catching.
Look, it's like a real dark-colored perch. So, for you to make soup, how many of those perch would you need?
Maybe 100. The winner. Biggest fish.
I actually hate to have to leave Finland. It all feels so comfortable, somehow so familiar, except for the soup.
Reindeer?
Yes. Reindeer. When you go ice fishing, I go to the forest and kill the reindeer and skin it then.
This place, these people, so pure. Tradition tops all. It goes back to that knife on Ari's belt. Handcrafted in a town where people celebrate with holiday spirit every day of the year.
What a trip, what a story. In fact, Santa even gave me a bell off of one of his sleighs, now cherished by both my young boys. Happy holidays to you and your family. Until next week, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.